Okay, in the previous class we have studied about scalar product, isn't it? Now, in this class, let us continue a bit more on that. Now, in yesterday's class, we discussed scalar product of two vectors a and b is given as a dot b. This is important while pronouncing, so we will write it as a b cos theta. Okay, so mathematically, this is also b a cos theta. All right, so you can treat it as multiplication of magnitude, or you can say multiplication of magnitude of a with the projection of b onto a. All right, otherwise b multiplied with the projection of a onto b. Okay, so like that, right? Now we also saw that vector what is this scalar product, right? Scalar product is commutative, so a dot b is equal to b dot a. It obeys commutative law, right? Now if you observe it, you can prove that, you can prove by taking a simple example that it also obeys distributive law. Okay, scalar product, it also obeys distributive law. For example, say you have a vector a dot with the resultant of b and c. Okay, now usually when you add two vectors, okay, see here you have vector b and c in the brackets, right? Now the resultant of b and c will be some vector, correct? Because if you add two vectors, you are expected to get a vector. So that is why I say you are performing dot product on a, that is first vector. Now the second vector happens to be the resultant of b and c. Okay, so if you do that, you can find that. So you can also get it by doing a dot b plus a dot c. Okay, so a dot c. Remember, scalar product. Okay, scalar product, as I told you, the end result, correct? So here, as you can see, a dot b, correct? Vector a dot vector b, we'll write it as ab cos theta. Okay, now if you observe this a, it just tells you that it is a magnitude, right? So the end result, we don't talk about anything in direction. Okay, we don't talk about anything in a particular direction. So there are no directional properties if you observe in the RHS, right? So a magnitude, b is magnitude again, now cos of angle between them, so it gives a real number, that is on, right? So the total, this result, okay, so it has just magnitude. Okay, it has only magnitude, so there is no information on direction. Okay, so if you look at the RHS here in the distributive law, right? So see here a dot b. Okay, so a dot b, it will give you a scalar quantity, fine. Then a dot c also, it will give you a scalar quantity. Then you just have to add them. All right, fine. So try to prove this. Okay, try to prove this. I'll give you a simple clue. Now what you can do is take three vectors. Okay, so vector a is this, then vector b is like this, and vector c is like this. Okay, vector c is like this. Okay, first add b and c. So if you add b and c, what do you get? You can get a resultant, which is just do head to tail method. Okay, so like this. I've given you the clue, just try to do it. Okay, if you are not able to do it, please call. I'll definitely try to do it in the next class, so take it as the homework. Okay, so say the orange one is here r. Okay, like this. So let b and c, okay, let b and c be your vector r. Okay, then try to do it individually. Okay, what I mean is, so you can take the angle between a and b. See here, if you want to perform a dot b, you need angle between a and b, correct? And I told you how to take it. Okay, so you have to take considering the co-initial vectors. Okay, so try something like that. So see if you can prove this. All right, fine. Otherwise, you can prove by taking some values also, taking your own values for angles. All right, so this is about distributive law, and let us try to get the dot product if you have, if they specify the vector in Cartesian form. Okay, right? Yeah, and before that, say you have a vector a. Okay, before, say you have vector a. All right, now let me shorten it. Excuse me. Say you have vector a. Okay, then you have vector b. Right, now the angle between them. Okay, so let me shift it neatly here. So the angle between them is, say, some theta. Okay, right. Now let us look into, let us say you are multiplying a and b by a common factor lambda. Okay, so we are interested in getting lambda a and lambda b. Okay, now what you can do, so lambda, say it's a positive real number, so say it is like some 2. Okay, you can assume lambda as 2. It is any real number, it can be negative also, but to understand in the diagram I just asked you to take it as 2. Okay, set let lambda be 2. Okay, let lambda, assume it as 2. Alright, now what are we doing here? 2 times a and 2 times b we are doing. Okay, so it feels like you are magnifying. Okay, you are magnifying it, it became lambda a now, correct? Earlier, okay, earlier it was simply a, now it has become lambda a. So lambda I have asked you to assume 2. Okay, right, or you can write it as 2a only, no problem. So let me write 2a. Okay, so 2a is this. See, I have actually increased the length by using my mouse. Okay, so 2a. Now let us increase the, or you can say 2 times vector b. What will happen? The length will also double, right? So the length will double, magnitude will not change. Now this is actually 2b. Okay, 2b, fine. Now this 2b and 2a, you can treat them as new vectors, right? Why not? Definitely. So you can treat them as new vectors. So call it as some vector p. Okay, let vector 2b be, let us call it as vector p. Now this one you can call it as vector q. Okay, right. Now if you perform p dot q, what do we get? P dot q. P is essentially 2b dot 2a. Okay, so if you do p dot q, you will get p q cos theta, correct? P q cos theta, right? So you can see from the diagram. So angle remains the same, angle remains the same. Okay, fine. Right, so p q cos theta. Now what is magnitude of p? 2a, correct? So magnitude of p is 2a and magnitude of q is, sorry, magnitude of p is 2b, right? Sorry, magnitude of p is 2b and magnitude of q is 2a, right? Okay, now times cos theta. So what did we get here? 2 into 2, 4. Okay, 4ab cos theta. Okay, 4ab cos theta, right? So finally, if you observe like this, so if you multiply lambda a, okay, a vector lambda a dot with, okay, dot product of vector lambda a with another vector lambda b. Okay, so you are expected to get, what did we get? 2 square, 4, correct? So you'll get lambda square a b cos theta. Okay, or you can simply write, yeah, so lambda square a dot b. Okay, so lambda square a dot b also you can write. Okay, lambda square times a dot b, that is lambda square a b cos theta. Okay, now I want you to make the small correction in your NCERT book. There are few mistakes in your NCERT book also. So if you observe this equation here, it is supposed to be lambda square, is it not? So you can easily find out from this discussion whatever we did. Okay, it cannot be lambda, yes or no? It cannot be lambda. So here is the proof. All right, so it will be lambda square. So just consider square here. Okay, you have to consider square here. If lambda was not there in one of them, okay, for example, say I'm not considering 2a, I'm simply considering a here. Okay, if I had simply considered a, then you would have got it as what is that, a dot 2b. Okay, then whatever they say is correct, so you will get 2 times a dot b. Okay, 2 times a dot b, right? Then it would have been correct, right? But here they have lambda a dot lambda b, so it must be lambda square a dot b. Okay, so please make a correction there. All right, yeah, so distributive law we have covered. Then one simple what happens when you multiply two vectors which are actually multiplied with a scalar already. For example, a is multiplied with lambda and b is multiplied with lambda again, right? So this is what we get. Now moving on, next let us see how to calculate, how to calculate the dot product, okay, given the components of a and b in your Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so let us say given ax comma bx comma ax ay, so these are the components, right? X component along x axis, component along y axis, and component along z axis. Okay, then they will give bx, by, and bz also. All right, now how to do? It's really simple. So you can write generally vector a, right? Vector a, you can write it as ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. Now vector b, you can write it as bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Okay, right. Now if you do dot product, okay, so how to do dot product, I'll tell you. It's really simple. So a dot b, we'll write it like this: ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. Okay, then again open up a bracket, so you can also write bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Okay, right. Now what you have to do is, please listen carefully, you have to multiply ax with bx. Okay, then write the product. So you'll get it as ax bx. Remember, the end result is always scalar. Okay, it has only magnitude. All right, so you have to multiply ax and bx, then you have to multiply ay and by. So add it here, so ay by, then you have to add az, product of az and bz. Okay, so this is all. This is how you get scalar product. Okay, az bz, right? So a dot b, you can get it by doing this way. If you are given with the components, okay, x axis, y axis, and z axis components. All right, now let us take an example. It's really simple. Now say you have vector a, which is 5 I cap plus 2 j cap minus 3 k cap. Okay, now vector b, it will be 3 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 7 k cap, something like that, or you can introduce a minus sign here also. All right, so here you have to consider these signs when you are multiplying. All right, fine. Now a dot b, if you want to get so you just have to, what did we do? Ax of one vector, x component of one vector multiplied with the x component of the other vector. So x component of a is 5 I cap, x component of b is 3 I cap, so 5 into 3, right? So the product, so it will be 15, then plus 2 into minus 4, so here you have to consider signs. Okay, so this is minus 8, okay, then minus 3 plus 7, okay, so this will be minus 21. All right, so finally you'll get it like 15 minus 8, 7, 7 minus 21, minus 14. Correct? Yeah, it's minus 14. That's it. So you don't, where we get to use this scalar product, otherwise dot product in the, you can say in the actual physical world. Okay, so we'll get to know that. All right, so it is simply 14 for now. Okay, so what are the units? It will be dependent on it depends on the situation. Okay, so remember that. So the answer is just 14. All right, so if they don't specify any physical quantity which this vectors are representing, simply you can write the answer. All right, fine. Now right, next let us see what happens if you perform dot product of a vector with itself. Okay, so it's easy. You can write it as a dot a. Okay, so magnitude of first vector is a, magnitude of second vector is also a, because you are performing dot product of vector with itself, right? Now angle between a and itself is what? It is actually 0. Okay, so this you'll get it as a square. Okay, you'll get it as a square. Fine. Now if you do the same thing in Cartesian coordinate system, so obviously you would have got it something like this: ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az yeah, plus az k cap, okay, then bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Sorry, what am I writing? It's ax, right? Yeah, it's ax I cap again, okay, plus ay j cap and az k cap. Okay, right. So simple. What did we do? Ax multiplied with its ax itself. So you'll get it as ax square, then ay square plus az square. Correct? So essentially from this step, okay, from this step, what did we get? A dot a, it is actually equal to a square. Correct? So here also you have this proof. Okay, so I think we have already proved this, right? So we have already proved this. So it's like resultant. Okay, so if you split vector a into three components, ax, ay and az, okay, that is along x axis, y axis and z axis, this condition will always be met. Okay, this condition, you can find that this condition is always true. Okay, this condition is always true. All right, fine. Okay, so this is about multiplying or getting the scalar product if you have two vectors in the Cartesian form. Okay, so better to write once in your notes. All right, fine. Now, okay, now let us look into a special case here. Now, what happens if angle? Now, say you are given with two vectors a and b. Okay. Now what happens if theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to 90 degrees and theta is equal to 180 degrees. Just a special case, right? So special cases you can say. So a dot b, okay. So first one, if theta is equal to 0, right? So a dot b will be equal to ab cos 0. Okay, so it's simply ab itself. You are just getting the magnitude of a and b only. Okay, so this helps us a lot in while doing problems. So try to understand. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, so you'll get a dot b as a b cos 90. So cos 90 is 0. So the dot product turns out to be 0. All right. Now if theta is equal to 180, if theta is equal to 180, I think you must be familiar with the values of trigonometric ratios beyond 90 degrees, right? So it will be a dot b, you can write it as ab cos 180. Okay, so that will be cos 180 is negative minus 1. Okay, so you'll get it as minus ab. Okay, so remember these are just magnitudes. Okay, so ab, that just simply tells you the product of magnitude of a and with magnitude of b. All right, so this is 0. Second case is 0. Now third one is negative of product of magnitudes of a and b. Okay, that is what it says. All right, so this one simple thing you need to remember: the end result, the result given by the dot product or scalar product, it is always scalar. Okay, it has only value, it has only magnitude but no direction. Okay, fine. Right, now, yeah, so hope I have covered almost all the things. All right, fine. So yeah, let us see in the next class. Okay.